Hello everyone, Trent Adams here from Kilted History, joined of course by my host Gideon McDowell and our guest today, Joseph Linahon of the AML Trio. And today we will be talking about the basket hilt, or maybe more colloquially known as the broadsword.
The basket hilt is notorious for Highlanders and Scottish way of life. When you think of Scotland and weapons, you often think of the basket hilt. The basket hilt starts its origin with a man named Sinclair. Some of this is fact, some of this is fiction. The rumor has it that Sinclair was a mercenary who was off in the Nordic countries fighting for different people. He hated being on a vessel and not being able to use a sword, so as he went around and figured out how to use it, he went back home to Scotland, went to one of his friends who was a smith, and said, I have an idea for a sword that'll protect the hand. And his buddy said, I can make a complete basket. Sinclair said, I like that, took the basket hilt, and then the basket hilt became part of Scottish culture.
The Scottish broadsword, in technique, was comparable to the military sabers of the day. One would favor overhead cuts, turning almost as if a key, bringing it around again. The hang and guard blocks, and another cut is delivered. One can move either direction over the top of a shield, or what else, keep the maximum reach, and keep the protection of their face.
So broadswords and basket hilts came in different lengths, shapes, and sizes, and blades. So for this one, this is a single blade. If you look at this, it's only a blade on one side. Other side is completely flat, so as I run my hand along this, I'm not going to cut myself. However, the other one that is right here next to me, on my side, is a double blade. This is a double-edged broadsword, or basket hilt. So if I run my hand along this side, I'm going to cut myself. Run my hand along this side, I'm going to cut myself. This is kind of what you'd see mostly in the later era of 1745, along with the single blade, but this one is a bit heavier, so when I swing it, there's a bit more weight behind it. Coming back, there's a bit more weight, versus if I go to the smaller one and a lighter one, this one, when I swing, I can pull back a lot quicker. So this one was probably someone of higher standings. You'd probably have a blade with a single-sided if you were kind of a general and or a chieftain.
The Scottish broadsword first emerges in the mid-16th century. Some of our earliest findings date to 1545 on the wreck of the Mary Rose. Now this weapon would continue to be used until the 19th century. After the Dress Act of 1746, many Highlanders were not allowed to carry weapons. However, Highland regiments in the British Army continued to use the broadsword, mostly officers, well through the Napoleonic Wars. Of course, with the rise of gunpowder, we see its use decline towards the end of the 19th century. It went out with horses and everything else, and was used up until the Great War. And there you have it, the Scottish broadsword, a menace on battlefields from Killiecrankie up to Waterloo and beyond. This is Kilted History signing off. Sláinte mhath!
Sláinte mhath!